my personal. I of course.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah. I would agree that Dark Knight's the greatest, comic book film probably of all time.
It
but,
is.
It really is.
It is, and that trilogy is a masterpiece.
But I also don't think it's even Christopher Nolan's best film.
Memento. I remember we talked about this.
Yeah.
I think Memento is his best work.
Yeah.
I'd probably say next would be a coin flip between Dark Knight and Interstellar.
You like
Really?
Interstellar?
I love that.
Really?
I love
Because
it.
I always say
loved
coin
it.
flip between The Dark Knight and Inception.
Oh,
I'd say
yeah. I'd say
Inception's
Inception
next.
as well.
Why did you like
I go with
yeah.
Inception.
Inception,
and
I
Interstellar.
think Interstellar is far and away. But,
Why did you work? Why did it
Amazing
work for you
film.
exactly?
Inception, well, one, I thought the acting performances in Interstellar were stronger. I actually
That's
did
true.
think Matthew McConaughey had a stronger performance in that than Leo did in Inception.
That's good. He had the cell. He had more of the cell, I think, than Leo did.
Also, I think that the entire scope of Interstellar was just insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's so beyond our realm that it's like.
But it's
No,
You have to be talented to take that
To make
scope
that
of a
work.
story and to make it like
to make it work.
But
and,
it doesn't-
and to make 2 hours and 40 minutes
absolutely
not
and to make it
boring.
cohesive.
What's
Yeah.
funny
Agreed.
too, it
But-
doesn't
Agreed.
feel. It feels still very intimate, I think.
Well, it is very intimate. I think that's
Well,
kind
I mean,
of what
I
made it
think
incredible.
the-
It's
yeah.
this huge, out of our world perception, but every character.
But you get
still
moments
has
where like
The main
McConaughey's
theme-
looking at his
The
family
main
and it
theme
starts
of
breaking
that film
down.
is love.
Yeah.
And
of
that's
Interstellar?
incredible to be able to carry that thematically throughout this space epic.
Yeah.
Like
And
his
with
connection
every
to his
character,
daughter
yeah.
And
was
with
the
every
biggest
character,
link
too,
because
though.
it brought the arc full circle.
Because even with Anne Hathaway and who's it, Brad Pitt or Matt Damon's character,
Right.
No, well, not him, but the other
the
guy.
guy that
Right.
died, and then
Yes, the idea of love.
it
being
went
able
the
to travel
whole
across
the whole
universe
way.
is
Um,
was
Yeah.
a big thing.
and time
yeah,
over the
Time
universe and time and space.
and
Yeah,
space. Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
But you don't. I mean, yes, Interstellar was a spectacle, but you don't think that. I mean, Inception for me being a storyteller, the structure of that film,
Inception.
the way that you go from level to level in the dream.
But the
world.
storytelling was still very
Oh, and it
way on the regular.
But it
beat,
hits
though.
it hits every beat. But the idea that
yeah.
the first act happens with the exposition on the real world and in the
Yeah.
first dream, and then you get the whole second act on that whole second
Yeah.
layer.
But the thing with Inception is,
And the third act and the
after
third
the first
layer.
time I watched
That
it,
blows me away.
subsequent times I was just not as enthused by it.
Oh, shit.
Like with Interstellar, I've
Right.
watched it 3 or 4 times, and I feel like the emotional resonance is there every time you watch it.
Right.
With Inception, all the shock factor is gone.
Right.
It's
You know?
true.
Especially
So
the ending of
it's-
Inception.
And the
Yeah.
ending,
Yeah.
It's a good ending, but after you see it, it's like, okay,
You,
does that?
get- you,
Yeah.
you got it. You
Right.
know what it's going for.
Interstellar's more personal.
Yeah, which is why I
Yeah.
think which is why I rank it one above, because I
Okay.
think the personal
I-
story is
I see
more
that.
relatable.
Yeah.
And I think it lasts longer. I think when you hit emotion, it's going to last longer than spectacle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought Inception was amazing as spectacle. I think it's really really good, but I think the lasting power is not as strong.
With Interstellar with me, the
That's
last
the argument.
20 minutes just kind of throws me off a little bit. Just because it kind of, I don't know.
That's what I love. That's the part that made me freak out the most, because he goes and he sees his own daughter on
Yeah.
what could be her deathbed. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I love. I'm
That-
talking
I've never
about.
seen Interstellar.
I'm talking about the part where he goes in that
spoilers, obviously.
No.
the grid sort of thing, you
But
know.
spoilers.
That
Spoiler
didn't.
alert.
That kind of throws me off because it's like, all right, what are you doing, Christopher Nolan? What? But
He's making you.
He's
feel
exploring a
bad.
massive concept.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't watched in a while too.
Which what other director really takes that big of a concept and is like making a crazy
Not in a very long time.
Only
Right?
J.J. Abrams.
right.
And even then,
And he does it more
even-
so on TV than he did
right,
in
and,
his films.
even like if
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
when they're on the deathbed though with his daughter,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
powerful.
that's-
it's powerful. It's really
Yeah.
powerful.
That's when you
That
reach
was
the
a great
culmination
moment.
of the entire
Yeah.
story between him and the daughter.
Because for him, it's
Yeah.
only
That's
been
what
like
the-
maybe
that's the
what,
main
like a
plot of that
handful
whole
of years,
film.
and for
Yeah.
her it was her whole
It's
life.
less about
Like,
finding like humanity.
That's
It's like
It's about the daughter.
salvation.
Relativity is
That's
such
the
like
B
a-
plot of that film.
Oh,
The A plot
messed
is-
up
It's
concept.
him and his
Oh.
daughter, like their dynamic, and like seeing where that ends, and that moment in the bed is like so powerful.
Have you guys watched The
Not really that
Prestige?
huge.
I have yet to. I
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's
It's
good.
good.
It's very good.
Personally, it's my least favorite Nolan
Right.
film. But I don't think it's because it's weak. I just think it's because the
Because
rest
he's made
of his
so
stuff
other
is so
amazing
strong.
songs, right? Okay.
I mean, you can't go wrong with what is it? It's Hugh Jackman,
Hugh Jackman,
Christian
Christian
Bale,
Bale.
Scarlett
And that's
Johansson.
another one where the structure is
But-
really interesting. He structures the story in the same structure as the magic trick itself.
Yes,
Where he-
that one was great.
What did he do?
Oh, I
He has-
mean,
he has the what's
Christopher
it
Nolan's
called?
brilliant
The,
with structure. I mean, you look at Memento as his first
Absolutely.
like
well, yeah,
real,
obviously, but that one went back.
and that one,
I mean, that's
totally
incredible.
flipped cinema.
But that's where
for a while.
Christopher Nolan really shocks me as a storyteller and as a
Mhm.
writer is in his screenplays, his films. Like
Well, because his
the
structure
narratives
is
of
never
his films are
meaningless.
like-
It's never meaningless.
like,
It's
they
always
blow me
connected to
away.
something in
Yeah.
the story, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Which gets me excited for Dunkirk, which
I was
is
just
coming
about
out.
to say that.
Like, what is he gonna do with that?
I
The
don't know.
trailers look
the
amazing.
way he
Yeah.
structures that film, he talked about it already. He says that it revolves around three different, I guess, areas of that battle. He's
Okay.
going to show it from multi perspectives. He's going to show it from the airplanes.
Oh my god.
He's going to show
Oh.
it from the
From
ship, and then he's going to show it from like
the
the survivors
ground
in like
infantry?
in the water, like people who are like trying to survive
really?
in the
Wow.
water.
Well, I love the tagline, "Survival is victory." Because I looked into a bit of Dunkirk after the film was announced, and I'm like, what is this? Because I've never really heard it. Because in history, they never talk about this. Because it's American history. You're not gonna. Because this is a British battle, I think. But it's basically.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
British.
it's a
Yeah,
UK
it's-
battle.
And it's basically they had to just get the fuck out of there because there's no winning it, and that's why the tagline makes a lot of sense.
Did
You know,
I forget what movie? I was in the movie theater watching something,
Yeah.
and they showed like 10 minutes of Dunkirk.
Row One.
Rogue
One, yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw
10
it
minutes.
separately from that.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Didn't
Yeah.
it looked?
I
I
found
didn't
it
get the
separately.
full
and
thing
it
either.
looked
when you see Tom Hardy in the airplane,
Yeah.
And the
God.
score too, and Hans
Hans Zimmer,
like,
Hans Zimmer's, in my opinion, one of the greatest.
He's my
composers.
he's my favorite artist. I think a lot.
I mean, it makes sense. You look at
For you
you
know,
look at all
yeah,
the Nolan
he's
stuff that he's
brilliant.
done.
Oh,
and it's all
absolutely.
fantastic.
I think I'm more of a Zimmer
both
fanboy
Dark
than
Knight
Nolan,
and-
yeah.
The Dark
And
Knight
Inception
trilogy,
were-
Inception,
were
Interstellar,
Great. Interstellar
were
was
all
beautiful.
him, and they're all like.
But I mean,
Well,
you,
yeah,
also,
how-
you also
well.
have those Star Wars kids who will argue what John Williams.
well,
right?
John Williams.
I
and,
don't think- did
and,
they-
and
yeah.
he did great with Force Awakens.
I think he did great.
Zimmer's style,
Yeah.
if you compare it musically, it's much closer to like Philip Glass in terms of composers. It's very repetitive.
Glassworks was
Exactly.
brilliant.
Yes, so you get the connection
Yeah.
in between because it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very like the Batman theme.
Well,
is
it's very theme based. It's
Yeah.
got like a lot of
Yeah.
you know these motifs. is
Yeah.
what I think.
I connect
So-
to that a hell of a lot more than I do John Williams. As much as I really appreciate the Star Wars scores,
it's like
yeah.
we were saying with like spectacle versus like the more
Yeah.
personal. It's Hans Zimmer when
That's
you listen
true.
to like it feels more like I can connect to this.
Yeah.
more
What if
than
I were to
can-
ask you to sing a tune from one of them? You would
You
sing
would
a John
sing
Williams,
Absolutely, but
right? Because it's more
Right.
memorable,
It is,
absolutely.
but it's maybe
But it's-
not more
it's not more. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Emotional.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
I wrote.
But
I
then
remember
again,
the John Williams themes because
Well,
they
it's
are
almost
that
like it's almost like pop music versus like you know
like indie, you know,
indie
right? Absolutely.
versus, like,
Exactly.
That's a
alternative
great
music.
analogy.
It's- You'll remember the pop music
It's
more
supposed to be-
probably because
Yeah.
it's catchy and it's
It's
just
supposed to
on.
be catchy.
You know, it has these beats that you're just like, oh, I got that. But then
The,
you're gonna like the other.
I
song.
connect
It's
more
not-
to
it's
that
not-
small
it's
band,
more-
you know,
yeah,
that's
it's
more
doing small
meaning. Not to say
bar
there's not
shows.
music to. There's not meaning to
Yeah.
pop music, but I think there's a
Yeah,
little
there's
more
some
of a-
there's some really great pop music.
Yeah, but there's just like
But-
there's more meaning. That stuff is gonna
Yeah.
stick with you. It's gonna be.
Yeah, it's
a
gonna
little
be
bit more.
lyrical. It's gonna be resonant. It's gonna
I'd kill
mean
to
a lot.
see like a Hans Zimmer just perform a whole score, like the Man of Steel score, which I actually like more than the Dark Knight scores, even though of course the films
That's
are a lot better.
funny because I
That's
love that
interesting.
score.
The Man of
Despite the fact that I really don't
almost-
like the
yeah.
film that
This-
much, but
yeah.
the score
Yeah.
was
like
fantastic.
from note one to the final note, it's literally my favorite score ever. Like one of my
Honestly,
favorite.
I don't
you know?
remember it that much. I'd have to hear it
It's
again.
it's
Yeah.
really catchy.
It's a.
I'm
it-
partial
It's
to
not as
the,
memorable though.
The first,
Oh, like that. Yeah.
the first Lord
I mean,
of the Rings score though.
The first ring.
The first Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Howard Shore.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
really good.
It's
Especially
really good.
Concerning Hobbits. Was
Yeah,
like the
That's a
best
good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Really
Sorry,
good.
Hobbits.
Yeah, I never
They
got into
just
Lord of the Rings.
not that long ago
What?
they
haven't.
did a live show performing all
Yeah.
three scores to
Oh, yeah,
the three
Back
Lord
to
of the
back,
Rings
like
continuous.
that's
yeah.
insane.
So you're probably there for like six
That's-
hours.
I can see Paul rocking after that.
Yeah, I would totally rock after that.
Yes,
Uh,
you would.
It's insane.
I heard it was brilliant. I heard it was
Right, bet it
fantastic.
is.
I think it was at the Met.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, Howard
So,
Shore
like
is definitely another
Metropolitan
top,
Opera.
one of probably the top of all
Place,
time,
yeah.
probably. You know?
I don't know. I mean, all these movie scores are fantastic, but what stuff of video games have been doing in terms of music in the past,
And storytelling.
And
yeah, and
absolutely.
storytelling.
Storytelling.
But I just like
Video game
you
storytelling
Hear,
has
you
been
hear like the stuff
phenomenal the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievably good.
You hear like the old 8-bit stuff from like video games from like
Oh,
the
that's
80s,
true.
but then and then they're really good. But then
Yeah.
people they like the composers, they like remaster them, and then it just sounds absolutely
Well,
beautiful.
I have a friend who actually has made 8-bit music with like his Game Boys and
Really.
Oh
that's
yeah,
not
yeah, we saw that
crazy.
show,
Yeah, we went
didn't
to see
Yeah.
we went to see him live.
He was in
and,
he was in the studio not that long ago.
Really.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And you just
It's great. It's so cool when people can. I don't even know how they do it, honestly. It still doesn't make sense to me, but they do something with these little game machines, and they know how they can. I don't know if it's coding or something. They do something that makes them make music, and it's so cool, and it sounds great. And it's like I guess it's like being a DJ, but with instead of like a classic DJ, but instead of like vinyl, you're using the Game Boys, which
That's
is
interesting.
pretty nuts.
That is
It's
dope.
crazy.
Yeah, the way Zimmer writes his music too, it
very
is
creative.
similar to video game music more than like someone like John Williams, even Howard Shore. Because again, it's very repetitive. It's very like it's.
Oh yeah, it's like
you
theme
know.
based. You have
Yeah.
that part that'll come back later. You
Yeah,
have that
exactly.
sequence of notes that'll come back
Yeah.
later, and you'll be like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah, it's.
This means this is gonna happen now.
Yeah. Whereas like you take a guy like say Michael Giacchino, even he's much more similar to like John Williams in that it's very classical almost.
Yeah. it is.
Instead of more just Zimmerish, I guess.
Zimmerish.
Zimmerish.
I can't
Zimmerish.
overstate how
Now
much I
I'm
love that
gonna
guy.
patent that word.
I'm pretty sure I've said that
Zimmerish.
before.
Hodie-ish. Paul Hodie-ish.
Funny.
Anyway, so
That was so Paul Hodie-ish of you.
It's just so it's
That thing that you're doing is very Hodie-ish, and I don't know what I do about it.
that'd be pretty cool.
No, it wouldn't.
So.